Right, welcome back to the Workbench Apprentice rocking motorbike build. Today we're going to start by drilling the hole for our foot pegs. So I've got the drill bit, I've got it raised up on a spacer, and I want to make sure that the drill is square, because it's going to make a huge difference when I put the peg through. So I just want to check where I go that the bits, oh look at that, it's just coming through. You can see hopefully just there. So what I want to do now is drill from the other side, and the idea is to try and avoid this thing blowing out. So again, check for square. There we go, through. That's pretty good. Right. And that is a good tight fit, so that's excellent. So there won't be any play in that. Now, because we've got the hole there, that's going to help us position the exhaust pipe. So it's also going to help us position these things. So we know that we have a place to drill our holes. And that you can see there the dowel will just sit just on top of this lower exhaust pipe, which I think is perfect position. So, right, next thing is to give these bits a nice smooth sand and start gluing them on. So I'm going to start with some 120 grit paper and just give these a good going over with that, and then we'll step it up to some 400 grit paper. I should use 240 grit, but I don't have any, so the machine will do all the hard work, hopefully. So, one of the things you need to watch out for when you're using a power sander is to not spend too long in the one place, because if you do that then you end up with something like this. Now this is the original thickness, and there was just a wee spot that I was trying to get, and you can see there that it quite quickly chewed away all of that. So I need to make a new part, but before I do that I'm going to sand the other exhaust part, but I'm going to use this jig that I made a long time ago, which is basically just 2 bits of 120 grit paper, and it is using some spray adhesive just sprayed onto a excuse me, sprayed onto a scrap piece of plywood, because plywood's normally fairly flat, and you just grab your piece and you just move it backwards and forwards. You can see that it is starting to have its effect. It's not as quick as the power sander, but you're less likely to run into troubles. So I need to put more pressure on this point to get this piece here. And there we go. I think once you've done that to all the pieces, you won't need to go to the gym today. Right, so the 120 grit's done. Let's have a go with the 400. It does make it so smooth. You can really feel the difference. So that's that piece. I will carry on and do the rest of them. Okay, that's everything sanded down to 400 grit. Spent all day hand sanding, so I think that's going to do it for me today. Tomorrow I'm hoping to clean up the body of the bike and start sticking these things on. I think our next job before we put the parts on is to clean up the edges of the body of the bike. So yeah, we'll just make a start on that. It's going to be a lot easier to do it now than when all the bits are on. I think what I might do is put it in the vise. So I don't know if you can pick it up on the camera, but there's still a bit of yellow patch from glue, so that's what I'm trying to get rid of, because when you put the finish on it, it really stands out. So here I'm just shaping the wheel, just trying to make it smooth as I can, just with some coarse 60 grit sandpaper. So yeah, we're getting there. And we'll just keep going like that until it's all done. Right, well, that's tidied that up, so now we can give the faces a very light sand and then stick some bits on. So there's just this little patch here. Well, I suspect it won't be seen because that'll go over it, so we're not going to worry too much about that. Okay, let's stick some bits on. I am going to put on this piece first. So that's going to go there. The tank is going to go there. And we'll stick one bit there, one bit there, I guess. As long as it looks about right. And that bit, going to leave that off until we've got this wheel sorted out. Okay, let's go for this bit. Okay, that's better. Right, some glue on here. Spread it all over. Carefully line it up. Get my damp cloth. Just clean up as much of that glue squeeze out as we can. Try one. Okay, that's our first one on. Woohoo! Just want to check that I've got the angles right. So it goes more that way. And that one will go more that way. So about there. Somewhere about there, I think. Right, now this next one, I need to make sure I've got a clamp that can reach. And that looks pretty good to me. Just got a wee chisel to just scrape out the glue and my finger can't reach. Okay, I think that will go for this glue up. And I've run out of these clamps, so I don't want to use my other clamps because the pressure that you can get on those can just compress the veneer, and then it'll pull off when you release the pressure. So these ones are better at leaving the veneer intact. Okay, it's the next day. Let's take the clamps off and see how we got on. Looks pretty good to me. Right, there we go. That's where our foot pegs are going to come out. As you can see, it comes through the other side like so. So now that we've got that hole located, we can put some bits on the other side. Right, here we go. I made another small exhaust piece. Let's start putting stuff on. Okay, seem to be having some card issues with the camera, but got that on. Next is to get some stuff on the main body put on. Okay, the next thing I want to get on is going to be this exhaust piece, because lining this up is going to be critical for putting the cylinder pieces on. So I won't need glue from there because that can be in front here. So there and there, and make sure that we have enough room. Yep, we do, for the for the foot pegs to come through. Right, I think the last bit's going to be these bits here. What I want to do is make sure that that lines up flush with the top here, because that's where the seat's going to go, and this is just going to give it more support, give the seat more support. Right, hopefully you can see through the forest of clamps. What I've done is I've put in the second exhaust piece and this piece, because I want to make sure I get this piece in the right place, because this is the piece that we're going to be gluing up now. Right, I think that will probably do it for the clamps. In the meantime, we can work on the front fenders and the fender for the end of the other end of the rear. Right, so this is the rear mudguard, and this is the piece that, oh actually before we do that we need to I think we can sand just a little bit off here. Yes, I'll mark that out now. Okay, so I've got that lined up, and because this piece is spacer is just a little bit too thin, you just need to take off 1/2 mil in here. So, how am I going to do that? Might have to use my little Dremel tool and just route it out. Okay, I've got my little mini router set up. Let's see how it goes. So what I'm looking for is to make sure that I've got the depth pretty right, and I think I have. So I'm going to go ahead and do this piece. Okay, so you can see how that's going to go. I'll just carry on and do the rest of it. Okay, so I've taken just a little bit off there. Now, this is for the back wheel, but that back end is covered in clamps, so the plywood on this side is the same thickness. So I'm just going to see if we hit the right spacing. So that sits very nicely. Yeah, and I can get my fingernail underneath the edge along here. So I would say that is job done. Right, so let's glue this thing up. just broke. But I think we might be able to save it. And we just need something in there now. Oh, that's not going to work, is it? Okay. I think you got about a 10-minute setup time with this particular glue. This time I'm going to clamp it over that crack. So that's the crack down there. That there just needs to be squeezed up. Okay, well, we'll leave that to glue up. I've now run out of clamps, so I guess we will leave it there. And yeah, thanks for watching. Do like and subscribe, and come back next week and see how we got on.